What's going on, everybody? We've got breaking news at this hour. It seems as though an active shooter at Florida State University. We're gonna throw it to Florida. We're gonna throw it to WCTV in Tallahassee. Apparently, 4 people have been transported to transported to area hospitals. Following this, here's WCTV.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are breaking into programming right now because of news of an active shooter on Florida State's campus. Right now, we have confirmed that at least 4 people have been taken to Tallahassee Memorial Hospital.
That's right. Our Jacob Murphy is there now at Woodward in Tennessee. And Jacob, what do we know so far?
Yeah, Ava, I'm here, as you said, at the intersection of Tennessee Street and Woodward Avenue.
Tennessee Street and Woodward Avenue seems to be the area in which this is happening. At the moment, SWAT has been seen on site. Here was Fox Now reporting that.
I did want to share this live look with you. This is on the campus of Florida State University in Tallahassee, Florida. Take a look at this. It's a little hard to see, but you can see law enforcement running across the road onto campus. A large number of them. We're talking more than a dozen. Take a look at this if you're not looking at your screen. Dozens of law enforcement officers wearing what appears to be tactical gear, guns drawn, racing across this intersection right here as the university has reported an active shooter in the area of the Student Union. This is a live look from Tennessee Street and Woodward Avenue. This is the most activity we've seen since this breaking news was announced. Dozens of law enforcement officers now racing across this intersection.
So as you can see from the images, it seems SWAT is on scene. There is video. I don't know. For some reason, they block it out. Police have been seen. This came from somebody's Snapchat or somebody's Instagram. It looks like police carrying a what looks like a person out of Florida State University. The shooting is taking place somewhere in the area of the Student Union. They end up blurring out the image because there is a swear word on it. Here was what seems like the police carrying out a body.
This is a social media post, and take a look at this. This is just received from my child at FSU, and you can see a video right here. It does look as though law enforcement officers, and we do want to scrub that video right there. There is a curse word right there, but we did want to share that with you just a little bit
So they seem to be carrying out the body, guys. Make sure you're following the page for all the updates today. We're going to keep it locked in here throughout the day. We are going to throw it to WCTV in Tallahassee right now for all of the live updates about the active shooter in Tallahassee. Make sure you guys click the follow button, share the video out so that we can keep breaking the news for you guys. Here is WCTV in Tallahassee right now.
We have TMH statement here. It says that TMH is actively receiving and caring for patients related to an incident that occurred at Florida State University. At this time, details are still unfolding. We do not yet have specific information to share. However, we want to assure the community that our teams are fully mobilized and prepared to provide the highest level of care and support to all of those affected. They say we remain in close coordination with emergency responders and public safety officials, and out of respect for patient privacy and to ensure accurate information, we will provide updates as soon as they are available. They ask for patience and compassion during this difficult time.
And it appears that those officers that we see live right there may be SWAT team members with FWC. And Jacob did confirm they are on scene, and that does appear to be.
Once again, guys, bringing you guys live coverage of this. We are going to keep it with WCTV for a little while about any of the updates. Check this out.
Maybe where one of our reporters is headed in that direction right now.
Jacob has said also that the SWAT team appears to have arrived on scene there.
Yes, that's the FWC
Yes.
SWAT team. Yes, indeed. So I believe that's what we're looking at live right there on your screen.
Now, I do believe also that Cody had said that he did see an ambulance leaving where he was at Dewey in Tennessee with the lights flashing, which usually means that there is someone there who is still alive and does need some help. We're going to go right back to Cody now and see what an update he has.
Yeah, I'm here at Dewey Street in Tennessee. That's right there, the McDonald's across from FSU's campus here, and you can still see it's very active here. You have State Highway Patrol kind of manning the intersection right here. The Tallahassee Fire Department is here as well. We've also been seeing some students walking away from campus right now. Everyone I talked to say they're okay. They're a little shaken up right now, and they heard the SWAT come in and felt safe enough to leave, so they're getting away from campus. Police are kind of making sure that they're okay as well as they're leaving campus. But FSU is still advising people on campus to shelter in place until they give the all clear, which has not happened yet. I did talk to a student at Tallahassee State Community College. Her roommate goes to FSU, and her roommate is in her classroom right now, and she says that she feels safe. They don't know what's going on, but again, that's the question that a lot of people are asking right now, just trying to figure out what exactly happened here on campus that demanded such a large police presence. And like I said, we've seen ambulances, lights, and sirens heading towards the hospital here. So we do know that there are victims. We just don't know the total victims yet, or if the shooter's one of them, or any of that right now. So we're working on getting those answers for you, and we'll have them as soon as we can. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Cody. And TMH saying that they are caring and receiving patients actively right now. So we do not know how many patients. We had a report of 4 earlier, but there could be more.
Yes, and so we'll continue to keep an eye out for that, and hopefully as soon as that information gets to us, we'll definitely pass it on. We have a live stream and on a line as well. We'll have those updates on WCTV.tv.
That's right. And we first got the alert, I think it was at about 12:01 today. It was an FSU alert. Dangerous situation, active shooter reported in the area of the student union. So that was that first information. And we're going to show you now the latest alert from FSU. We're going to put that there on your screen. Continue to shelter in place. Police have responded to an active shooter call at the student union. Stay alert for more information. So people are staying put. You know, again, we've had some texts from people saying that they are locked in rooms. They feel safe. They're waiting for alerts from FSU right now. So this is still an active situation.
We did speak with a witness who called us here in our newsroom earlier when all of this was going on. And this witness described seeing one person. They said it was a college-aged male coming out of the student union with a handgun. So that's pretty much all we have so far, but that was according to a witness that we spoke to a little earlier. So again, that was around noon when that alert came out, and things seemed to get very busy at that time. And we were able to get this news out, and we're following it. We have several crews out there still monitoring the situation, and we're still communicating with authorities, several different law enforcement agencies out there, even the Tallahassee Fire Department, Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission, all out there along with our law enforcement agencies.
And we are taking a live look right now at Dewey in Tennessee, I believe there. Our Cody Butler is there, Jacob Murphy at Woodward in Tennessee, and they are getting the latest updated information on this active shooter situation on FSU's campus for us. They continue to update us. There's a very, very heavy police presence there right now. They're urging people to stay away from that area. Do not try to drive even near there, because there is just so much that is happening right now.
Yes, a lot happening right now. This is Jacob, where he is now. Our Jacob Murphy is at Tennessee and Woodward. So as you can see, plenty of law enforcement cars just lining both sides of the street there on Tennessee Street. And we're told even other things may be happening right now. Not sure if this is confirmed, but it's very active. They believe something else is happening.
Yes, I just got another text from somebody who is still sheltering in place there at FSU, and is saying that some of his colleagues in the neighboring departments are now being escorted by SWAT teams out of the buildings.
Wow.
So he is still sheltering in place, but some of his colleagues are being escorted out by what he thinks are SWAT.
Yes, and you see 2 students were just walking down the street casually there. And this is the live view from Dewey and Tennessee Street. You can see FDLE, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, is on the scene along with the police from Tallahassee Police Department, the crime unit there. A lot still going on. Again, this is the intersection of Dewey and Tennessee Streets near the McDonald's that's across from campus. A lot of people are familiar with that area.
Okay, and FSU has just sent, according to this person who's texting me, sheltering in place, FSU sent a new update. If the police come in, they'll use the safe word to indicate that it's safe to open the doors. Now,
we're gonna go back to FSU in just a minute. We are getting updated reports right now. This breaking from Colin Rugg. Suspect in custody after the shooting was reported at Florida State. Some individuals have been seen being carried away from the school in reports of the shooting of the student union area. According to local reports, so apparently it seems as though a suspect is in custody. We will keep. Let's see where we are at here. Let's throw it back to WCTV. I believe that's local Tallahassee.
Jacob Murphy, who is at Woodward in Tennessee, and see the latest update about what is happening there. Jacob.
Yeah, Ava, a similar scene from just a few minutes ago when I was last with you. Lots of law enforcement of almost every agency in North Florida, seemingly right here. FHP, TPD, Leon County Sheriff's Office, and I will say most recently a large line of Florida Wildlife Commission, FWC police showed up in their pickup trucks in tactical gear, it looked like. And I will say it's still what I would call a stagnant scene, not a lot of commotion around here. There are some students trickling out of campus. I've talked to each one just asking, are you okay? And they say yes, they're just trying to get as far away from campus as they can. I will say we did talk to a few people at the bus stop across the street that were saying they were inside the student union. They were working for the catering service at campus, and they were inside as they heard what they thought were multiple gunshots. One woman told me she heard maybe 15, 20 gunshots and started running towards the street to get to the bus stop here. They didn't see any casualties, they didn't see much, but they also told me at least some of the students that were inside the student union made their way inside the Co-Cathedral of St. Thomas More across the street, and they were inside the sanctuary right now just trying to calm down, I suppose. The pastor was with them, and that there was a group inside there. That's what one of the women who works at in the catering told me. So far, we haven't seen any ambulances from where we are. It's just law enforcement. And we haven't seen, again, any commotion, I would say. Now, they have blocked off every road, Woodward Avenue to the north, and then Tennessee Street east and west completely blocked. So again, if you're traveling on the west side of town, of course, stay far away. Now, we have seen a helicopter about anyone being in custody, or at least we haven't received word from here on the ground. Right now, we're the only ones out here. We're going to keep close tabs. We've gotten a better vantage point. We're now on this side of Tennessee Street, so we can look farther down towards the student union. So we're going to keep a close eye on, there are some folks, law enforcement walking, and we do see crime scene tape up all around the student union. So we're going to keep a close eye on that and any other commotion that comes up. But for now, we're going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thank you, Jacob. Now, there was a shooting at FSU in 2014 in the Strozier Library. Now, in that shooting, 3 people were hurt and a gunman was killed.
Yes, that gunman was identified as 31-year-old Myron May, and he was killed on scene. That shooting happened around 12:30 in the morning, rather, say late at night. And Ava, I'll tell you, I remember one today.
That's right, and we've got Cody Butler and Jacob Murphy there. Cody Butler is on Dewey and Tennessee, and Jacob is at Woodward and Tennessee. We are going to go to a live shot from Dewey and Tennessee right now where Cody Butler is and see what is going on there. We see students crossing there at that crosswalk, and you can see the heavy, the police presence, the law enforcement presence there, and they are just trying to get, it looks like what they're trying to do is get these students away from campus right now. So we can see them exiting the campus, crossing the street. right there on Tennessee Street. And that's what, Jacob had said, that the students are just trying to get as far away from campus as possible right now.
As they should and as they've been instructed to do. And they look calm. That is a good thing about it. They're doing it calmly.
Yes.
I'm sure this is scary for so many people out there.
Yes.
Jacob did mention earlier seeing some students, they had the frightened look on their face, but it doesn't seem, at least in these moments after everything happening, that they aren't frantic. No panic as far as people just running and going crazy. They are getting away safely, but they seem to be doing it calmly. And of course, plenty of law enforcement out there and people being escorted. So that's a good thing. They're getting away from that area. And as far as traffic is concerned, anyone driving, the streets have been blocked off for some time shortly after all of this happened. So, of course, if you're not in that area, you are urged to please stay away. And then those who are already there, they are being calmly escorted away from that area.
Exactly. And Leon County Schools, we have an update here. The update says that we understand the feeling you have. This is for parents to immediately head to your school to pick up your child. Please be patient as our schools manage our response. Now, it says at this time, our schools are on lockout. And at this time, high schools are still planning to dismiss at 1:50 p.m. All right?
Yes, lockout typically means, anyone who's on the outside.
Right.
They're not allowed to come in. So, but you mentioned the statement does say they're doing regular dismissal.
Yes,
but
at 1:50.
on lockout. Okay, 1:50.
High schools are planning to dismiss at 1:50 p.m. and the schools do remain on lockout at this time.
Yes, at this time. So parents, of course, stay updated, be aware of what's going on, but they're asking you to, please don't panic and just try to stay away until that dismissal time.
Yes, and we're awaiting information on what the latest is on the shooter.
That's correct.
Because, of course, at this time, we're not sure, and so everyone is extremely concerned. And it is still an active situation, but we're not sure if the shooter has, they have him in custody or not. So as soon as we get that information, of course, we will get that to you.
And it's understandable for people to be a little,
Campus.
That's right. And our Stacey Inez is also, she'll be on the scene as well. So we have several different crews. We're trying to go in different areas so that we can make sure to find out as much as possible, as soon as possible. Now, FSU has sent out another alert, so we'll put that on the screen.
Oh, this is from TMH, right?
A TMH alert, yes. So this is their alert from about some time ago.
Yeah, they say they're actively, caring for patients right now, and that they are, just asking for people's kind of patience while they do the very best job, certainly that they can. We've got this FSU alert. It just continues to say, it just says continue to shelter in place. Police have responded to an active shooter call at the student union, and they're just asking people to stay alert for more information. Jacob Murphy, Cody Butler, they are on the scene right now. They are working to speak with people and get the latest information. So we're not going to go live to them for another little while, just so they can gather as much information for us as possible regarding this shooter situation.
Yes, now that alert that we have on screen right now, that was about 30 minutes ago. The university sent it out. So that is the latest alert that they've sent out. So they continue to follow this situation and just saying, stay alert. But, shelter in place. You want to stay safe, stay where you are, be inside, no need to be out, and definitely don't go to the area. But, of course, be aware, stay alert. We will definitely pass along any new information we get. We have our crews out there. They're talking to people, getting the latest information, and we'll definitely pass it on as soon as we know.
And also, we're going to go back to Jacob Murphy. He is at Woodward and Tennessee, very close to the student union where this all happened. Let's take a listen.
It was terrible. Yes.
You were kind of spread out, getting different lunch items.
My daughter was waiting at the table. We were looking at the menu, and I couldn't believe it. Like, shots started. It was surreal, and people just started running. She got trampled over. We went through like an exit door, ran down a hall, and all the doors were locked except one going up a flight of stairs to exit. And we didn't think that would be a good idea, but there was about 70 of us or 50 of us in that, and we were just like trapped, like
so when
felt
did you
trapped.
get out of the union?
We went in the service elevator. There's about 50 of us in the elevator, and we went upstairs. And that was probably the scariest point because we didn't know, it could get worse, right? The doors open and, 2 officers were there, guns drawn, yelled, "Did you see anything?" We're like, "No." "How do we get out?" They pointed that way, and just the adrenaline. We got outside, and just here we are. We ended up in a church across the street here.
What was that moment like when the 4 of you were here and you knew you were safe?
Just like
Relief.
nothing you've ever felt before, or you could even explain. It's hard to explain. I mean, we're just blessed. I mean, how we got out of there, I can't, it's kind of surreal being at the church because God was watching over us. I mean, definitely we could have went really bad. I hope all the people pray for their families and that they're okay. We don't know much right now, but
Anything else? Covers it. Thank you so much. I know that's not easy. We don't know what to
Jacob Murphy there talking to a man who I got caught off a little bit. He was in the student union with his daughter, and when the shooting started, they tried to escape. The doors were locked. He said that everyone was rushing and she was kind of trampled. They got into an elevator, and there was about 50 people in that elevator, and they were scared to death. And once the elevator doors did open, law enforcement was there, guns drawn, helped them get outside.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And that does seem a tad bit reminiscent of the 2014 shooting on campus. We remember seeing so many videos of people being inside in Stroger Library. That's where that 2014 shooting happened. But you can see the people inside. All right, and we actually have some video of the student. Let's go ahead and take that video.
I just hope everyone's okay, praying for the people that are injured, and I just hope we can do better in the future.
Yeah, students, this is extremely traumatic, and they're just trying to get these students off of campus. The students Jacob talked to earlier, all they want to do is just leave campus, and let law enforcement do what they need to do in this situation. All right, if you are just tuning in now, this is what's going on. There has been, of course, a very dangerous active shooter situation at FSU today. 4 people are at TMH at least hospitalized. TMH is caring for them now. The school is on lockdown. Police are on the scene, a huge law enforcement presence. We've been talking to people who were there and experienced this tragic event
the teenage
this afternoon.
boy that is.
So Jacob Murphy is at Woodward in Tennessee, talking to people now, trying to assess, what's happened. We've got Cody Butler at Dewey in Tennessee doing the same thing, and we are bringing you the latest updates, live updates with this shooting situation at FSU.
Yes, FSU authorities, they are asking everyone to shelter in place, continue to stay where you are and be safe. Those who are leaving campus, they do have a lot of law enforcement officers in the area, and then we saw some walking some people out. So far, it seems most people are staying calm. I'm sure in the moments, though, it was not a calm situation. We've heard from some witnesses who were inside of the student union when they say those shots started going out. One witness telling our reporters they heard multiple gunshots at the time, at least 15 to 20, one woman told one of our reporters. So a lot of chaos in the moment. We heard from the father who talked about he and his daughter together. They ran for safety. A lot of people are crowding around together. There were some frantic moments, but hopefully everyone is able to kind of take a breath right now and try to get their bearings and get to a safe place.
I did get another text from someone who is sheltering in place there on campus. He said, we are all just waiting here. We think it may take a while to leave. He said there is a building that everyone is being sent to at this moment. He does not know what building that is.
For just a moment, we are going to throw it over to Fox Now, who has reports from the FBI field office in Jacksonville. Once again, we have live coverage of the active shooter going on at Florida State University. Right now, it's being reported by local outlets that 4 people have been shot. There's nothing yet on the suspect. Some are reporting that a suspect is in custody. I'm going to pump the brakes and wait on that. Let's throw it to Fox Now. They have, let's see, what do we have here? FBI Jacksonville and the resident agency are on the scene assisting local law enforcement. Attorney General says my office, James Utmeyer says my office is responding to the active shooter situation at the FSU campus. We will provide more updates as it happens. Ron DeSantis tweeting out our thoughts and prayers with the FSU. You know what? I'm gonna throw it to Fox Now and keep looking. We'll be there.
Reporting on FSU's campus. I am praying for the safety of the students. Active prayers are with our FSU family, and state law enforcement is actively responding. Also, Ashley Moody appointed to that role after Marco Rubio elevated to Secretary of State, saying my office has already been in contact with school leadership about the tragic reporting on FSU's campus. I am praying for the safety of the students, the faculty, and all first responders involved. So again, we're just looking at this, a live picture right now on the campus. You can see police there in present, making sure no one is coming and going as the shelter in place remains in effect. Police have responded to an active shooter at the student union. You need to stay alert for more information as they get those alerts on their phone. People there talking about this. So, of course, this was coming in from Florida State, talking about if you need emergency assistance, you should call 911. All classes and university events there are being postponed for the time being, obviously, for obvious reasons. No specific information. They're fully mobilized, prepared to provide the highest level of care and support to all those impacted. Again, I just want to take you back out there. And we're also getting some sound from people on the ground there, including a witness that was heading to campus, heading to class. She came across what was going on. Let's listen into some of this video from just a little bit ago.
Nervous, I'm scared for my friends, I'm making sure I'm checking up on them, and I just hope everyone's okay and this gets handled soon.
And you said you weren't on campus when the shooting happened?
No, I was parking my car, walking back, and as I was walking back, I see these group of girls crying, really upset, walking back from the student union, told me they heard gunshots, and they just ran and came back to their apartment where I was walking to.
Yeah. So what's going through your mind seeing that your school has had a shooting now?
Honestly, I just hope everyone's okay, and I hope that we can just do better precautions so this doesn't happen again. And I just feel awful for the students on there having to go through these emotions right now, dealing with scared for their lives, honestly. It's really scary.
And you said you had friends on campus at the time?
Yes, right now. They're still on campus. They're on lockdown right now.
And you've heard from them? They're doing okay?
Yep. Texted them. They just said they're scared, they're in lockdown, and they just want to go home.
Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I just hope everyone's okay, praying for the people that are injured, and I just hope we can do better in the future.
All right, just listening in there to a student, a freshman that was just heading to campus when she came across an emotional group of girls there leaving campus.
We are going to throw it back to WCTV with some more breaking news about where exactly all of this is happening. Here's WCTV.
And then once the doors open, you at least see friendly faces those law enforcement officers trying to take them to safety. And you know, and when Cody, that was Jacob rather, when Jacob was interviewing the father was visibly shaken. So this is the map of the area on FSU's campus. We're told all of this happened at the Student Union on campus. So as you can see, you know, the Student Union in the middle of campus there, not far from Woodward Avenue and Tennessee Street. And that's actually where we have one of our reporters, Cody Butler, that Jacob is in that area, Woodward in Tennessee, and then we have our Cody Butler at Dewey in Tennessee. So they're out there, they're searching for answers, talking to people, and we're trying to find out as much as we can at this time.
All right, we're getting some information that at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital that there are perhaps more than 4 there. I don't have an exact amount right now, so we're going to keep you updated on that.
Indeed, but TMH did put out that statement saying that they are ready,
yes,
and they are caring for victims that are related to this shooting. Again, the shooting happened around noon today. The FSU alert came out around 12:01 today saying that there was an active shooter on campus. And so far, initially, we were told 4 victims were taken to the hospital. Those 4 were confirmed, yes, at the beginning, yes, but we don't know if there are more victims at this time. We don't know the conditions of the victim, and we definitely don't know anything about the suspect. So that's one of the reasons why they want to make sure everyone stays safe. Plays
in close coordination are available, so we will certainly wait for those. And as we do, Jacob Murphy on the scene at Woodward in Tennessee, you know, Cody Butler at Dewey in Tennessee right now, just talking to people there and trying to figure out what happened this afternoon. We're gonna check in with Cody right now and see what information he has.
Yeah, Ava, right now we are seeing Tallahassee putting up barricades right now here at Dewey in Tennessee. Turn up the audio, please. And so we are here seeing the barricades be put up so that the officers can leave this area, because right now it's just being blocked by police cars right now. State Highway Patrol is here, FDLE is here, Tallahassee Police is here, and we are also hearing from state leaders right now on social media. Governor Ron DeSantis posted on X that our prayers are with our FSU family and state law enforcement who is actively responding. House Speaker Daniel Perez posted on X that we're watching what's unfolding at FSU. It's terrifying and every parent's worst nightmare. We are continuing to monitoring the news here in Tallahassee and urge everyone to pray for the students, families, faculty, first responders, and all involved. And Speaker Perez is a graduate of FSU, and up in D.C., Congressman Jimmy Patronis is also monitoring the situation, he says on X, as work to learn more, again, offering prayers for first responders and those who are injured. Here at Dewey in Tennessee earlier, we did see ambulances leave the scene with lights and sirens indicating that there was a live patient inside. We don't know their conditions yet. We do know that
getting new
TMH
information on
does
social
have
media. People
some
continuing to
victims
respond
here
from
from
Florida.
the scene. We're still working to learn more, and again, this is a very active situation that is gaining attention across the state.
It appears to be some students standing right by him. You know, I wonder, have they said anything, and why are they standing around? Do you know, Cody?
Yeah, we've been seeing students here in this area. I might have to move because there's a lot of activity with vehicles going on right now. But yeah, we've seen students walking away from campus. We saw a whole group of students leave about 15 minutes or so ago. They're all calm. They tell me they feel safe. Some of them are shaken up a little. They've talked to friends who are on campus that are on lockdown. They are, again, feeling safe on campus, shaken up. So they're just on edge right now.
Well, Thank you so much, Cody. It is nice to hear that, you know, they're trying to remain calm, the people out there.
Yes.
You know, because I'm sure it's a scary situation. And so you see some of them just kind of casually, you know, walking away. And so some in with their friends and fellow friends and their roommates or whoever may be on campus. So, you know, that's good. Check on each other. You know, everyone needs to be updated, and we're definitely doing our best. We're told that we got some students out there.
Yeah,
Okay.
everyone calling family to assure them they're all right.
Yeah.
You know, everyone, I think, wondering right now exactly what happened this afternoon. And law enforcement there, everything right now looks like it is under control. People are calm. People are being escorted off campus calmly. And, you know, Cody said there are barricades that are being put up there at Dewey in Tennessee to keep people out. They want people to not go anywhere near that area, please, so they can continue to do this investigation. State leaders, they are, you know, monitoring the situation right now. And, you know, Cody did say that ambulances were leaving the scene earlier with their lights flashing, taking people to TMH. Our Allison Posey is there. We are going to go to her shortly. She is at TMH for us now.
Yeah, and apparently, and I think TMH also has a staging area out there. So they are doing, oh no, that staging area is near their hospital, but they're make sure they're prepared. And so, you know, and as we know, many people, especially those who have been in Tallahassee for a while, they remember that 2014 shooting, and that's it there. Seeing this video just really rocked a lot of people. You know, these students and faculty, people were inside of the room. This is in Strozier Library on FSU's campus back in 2014. And boy, you know, just remember seeing so many videos like this, and the police officers coming in and rescuing these students. And again, the scene from back then, oh, it was very crowded and very cold that night. I do remember that.
And weren't there, Lanisha, 3 people were hurt, and then the gunman was killed?
Yes, that gunman was 31-year-old Myron May. And we're not sure. I believe he was a former student, but as far as his motive, and that's his picture there, it was just so shocking to so many people. You know, of course, that big question, the big question of why. That's always one of the first things, you know, that's, I'm sure, was going through so many people's mind. Today, we don't know Myron May. He had, you know, just so many people wondering what happened. This is video of the visual. I was out there at the time, that visual from the 2014 shooting. And, you know, the students, and that's one thing about these incidents, even though it's frightening, but those students coming together, everyone.
People away and try to get to the bottom of what happened with this investigation. Certainly people are still, it's still an active situation. People are still sheltering in place, and you know, we're hearing from them, and they're patiently waiting for more alerts from FSU, which they have been given. And from what I have gotten from the text that I'm getting, they do feel safe, and they are waiting for, you know, police to come and give them that safe word so that they can be escorted off of campus right now. We're taking another live look right now, and you can see law enforcement. There are some students there. It looks like everyone is pretty calm, which is a good sign.
Yeah, that is a good sign there. And it is, it's nice to hear you say you're getting those texts from some people who say they feel safe. And that's a good thing. There are plenty of officers out there on the scene, and so they're doing their best to, I'm sure, work on, you have some that are dealing with the investigation, and others who I'm sure are just specifically there for the people and making sure the area is safe, making sure people are doing what they're supposed to do. So it is nice to hear they are safe, because we know there are several different agencies on the scene. That vest there says State Trooper, so the Florida Highway Patrol out there, even FWC, we saw SWAT members from them out there on the scene, the fire department, so many others. So the scene is very active at this time still. So they just want to make sure everyone is safe.
who is on scene now, did speak to a father who was with, I believe, his daughter in the student union when the shooting happened. So let's hear from him.
I was here with my twins to get a tour to campus and business. We were at the business school. We had just finished up. Unbelievable.
Alrighty, so we heard. Oh, let me throw a hat back on. We heard from that gentleman already. Once again, we're monitoring all the updates of the active shooting at Florida State University. The reports are at least 4 confirmed victims. No update on the suspect as of yet, at least not that I am seeing. I'm going to keep checking the Twitter world to let everyone know what all is happening there. Okay, all right, what is it? Hold on. Jesus. What is this? WSB TV Atlanta is reporting WFTV. What is this? WFTV is reporting right now 5 dead, 4 injured in an active shooting. Let me see if I can pull up WFTV. Let's see here. Let me see if I can pull this up. That's in Orlando. They don't have a live feed. Why would they? They're only living in the 21st century. Yeah, so right now, once again, we are continuing to monitor it. But right now, they are saying WFTV in Central Florida is saying 5 dead. Oh, Jesus. 5 dead, 4 injured in Tallahassee. That is, they don't have a live feed, so why would that be convenient? Why on earth would that be? What do we have here? We're gonna go back to the scene right now.
TMH right now. We're going to check in with her to see what information she has. Allison?
Hey, thanks, Ava. Yeah, I'm live here outside of Southern Medical Group. It's kind of on the back side of Tallahassee Memorial Hospital on Medical Drive behind it. We have learned now 6 total victims have been taken to Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. 5 of those victims are serious. 1 is critical. That is all the information we have confirmed right now. We are working on getting a statement, an official statement from TMH as soon as we get that. And as soon as we get that, we will share it with you guys. But like I said, new information just coming in. 6 total victims have been taken to TMH here in Tallahassee. 5 of those victims are serious. 1 is critical. And again, waiting on that official statement. Not a lot going on right now. Again, we are on the back side of TMH. Normal traffic back here. Don't see anything out of the ordinary. But when we do hear something new, we will report it back to you guys. From Tallahassee Memorial Hospital, Allison Posey, WCTV.
All right, thank you so much, Allison. Allison Posey reporting from the Southern Medical Group at TMH. 6 victims, 5 serious and 1 in critical condition.
Yes, that is the latest we've gotten from Tallahassee Memorial. They do have a staging area out there, and they've said that they are prepared to deal with this situation for any victims. So as you see, they are working on things. That number again, at this moment, 6 victims related to the shooting on Florida State's campus. That shooting happened around noon today. So 6 victims, 5 right now we're told in serious condition, 1 in critical. So our Allison Posey is staged on the backside in the TMH area. TMH said they are making sure to keep the community as safe as they can. So anything coming their way, they are prepared to give the best care as possible to anyone who may be in need.
And
so we once again we are going to continue to monitor this, but President Trump at the moment right now is live in the Oval Office with Prime Minister Georgina Maloney. Guys, make sure you're sharing this video out. We're going to be we bring you all the breaking news we can here. As I said, WFTV is reporting 5 dead in this. Eyewitnesses learned from law enforcement that Sources say that 5 people are dead and 4 others are injured during the active shooting at FSU. Once again, we're going to keep you guys all updated. Oh, what do we have here? We're going to, we'll keep you guys updated on this. But President Trump right now is live in the Oval Office with the Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni. We are going to, hopefully we get some better news on this front. Obviously a horrible situation right now. We are going to throw it to President Trump live with Giorgia Meloni.
I don't know.
She'll be saying a few.
Right now, let's take you out to the Oval Office as President Trump meeting with the Italian Prime Minister Meloni there. Let's listen in to this event there. You can see Vice President J.D. Vance alongside him as well. Secretary of State Marco Rubio abroad. Let's listen into this on Live Now.
Active shooting. I guess it's an active shooter. Fully briefed as to where we are right now. It's a shame. It's a horrible thing. Horrible that things like this take place. And we'll have more to say about it later. In the meantime, it's an honor to have the Prime Minister of Italy with us, Prime Minister Meloni, who's doing a fantastic job. I would say that she has taken Europe by storm and highly respected. Everybody loves her and respects her, and I can't say that about many people. And she's become a friend, and we really have a great relationship between Italy and ourselves. And we talked about trade. We talked about many, many things during our luncheon. And she'll be saying a few words, but she's a very special person, and it's nice to have you with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you for your warm welcome. Thank you for this occasion, which is a
I'm sure in any way they can. And
you know, today is April 17, and April 17 marks the anniversary of the
and we have
agreement that allowed Cristoforo Colombo to make his trip. And I say to remember how ancient are our ties, but also to remind that we both share another fight, which is the fight against the woke and ADI ideology that would like to erase our history. And as I know that we share lots of things on tackling illegal migration, on fighting against synthetic drugs. You know, Italy has been one of the nations that made a plan against fentanyl.
Guys, sorry about that. We are gonna go back to the shooting at the moment right now. We've got more updates from some of the people that were on campus. This is WFAL, more local news reporting. Let's throw it back here real quick.
You know, there were some cars on the road, and since we're just trying to flee from the scene, so I did go a little bit of a different route just because I want to just avoid the campus at all costs. So I kind of just went almost like a larger loop back to my apartment, but I am safe now, and just kind of processing everything, just kind of gathering my thoughts here, just trying to process like what exactly what happened today at FSU.
I want to circle back to what I said when we first saw your face. I'm just relieved to see that you're okay, Chris. It feels like yesterday you were right here with us in the Stream Center interning. I froze this here on the center of your screen because you can see there, those are the people that are frantically running across the street in the opposite direction of campus itself, of the student union as we understand it. And then this is again from Garrett Harvey. So if you haven't seen this video, this is one of the many videos that are beginning to, circulate.
And JB, we have an update that I want to bring to you from the City of Tallahassee Police Department right now. We know, according to police, there's a student reunification point that's being established at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. They're saying multiple law enforcement agencies are actively working to secure the Florida State University campus. And again, they are working to create a student reunification point at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center.
Also worth pointing out, it's been 45 minutes now since we've had the last FSU alert go out that has anything other than the fact that this is still an active shooter situation. And look, it's an active shooter situation until law enforcement clears that active shooter alert. It has not yet been cleared. If anything is being shared on social media to the contrary, that it is no longer an active shooter situation, that is not true. It is still an active shooter situation, and the active advice or the active recommendation from FSU is to continue to shelter in place. Chris, I know that that's exactly what you're doing right now. You've been, I'm sure, hearing from a lot of your classmates, friends. What else have you heard from them? And hopefully all of them are doing okay. We know that you've got a little bit of an ankle injury there. I know from you being here that you're a strong guy. You'll bounce back. Have you heard anything else? Anybody that was close to the student union at that particular moment? Have you heard any other stories emerging from your campus?
Yeah, so I've been checking in with my loved ones and my friends throughout this situation. I do know of a couple people that were in the union with me. Some of them, I believe, were hunkered down. I know Ryan messaged me through Snapchat that he's safe, but I believe he was also in the union at the time. So basically what's kind of been happening is that some of the students, like myself, I was one of the people that actually had the opportunity to flee from the scene, while many others were just kind of instructed to hunker down in just the buildings around campus. I've spoken and just heard from my friends, specifically in the meteorology department, that the SWAT and local law enforcement have begun to evacuate them from the buildings to a safe location. And as JB just mentioned, FSU is establishing a point on campus, the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. That's where
Chris,
FSU basketball
I'm
plays.
so sorry to interrupt. Can you pass that along to me again?
A suspect is in custody according to AP.
Okay, so the Associated Press is reporting that a suspect is in custody. Let's bring up that report now. Brittany will
I see it right here.
Yeah, what do you got?
According to the AP, a suspect has been taken into police custody and multiple victims were reported in a shooting at Florida State University. A person familiar with the matter told the Associated Press. The extent of the victim's injuries was not immediately known, and there were no additional details about the person who was in custody. The person was not authorized to publicly discuss details of the ongoing investigation and spoke to the AP on the condition of anonymity.
Okay, multiple hospitalizations remain. Suspect in custody. And that's what we've got right now from the Associated Press. We're going to continue to scan different organizations that we partner with to make sure that we see reports confirming as such. What is NBC News reporting at the moment? Here,
NBC's latest update is talking to students. They are not confirming that anyone has been taken into custody, but of course that changes on a minute-by-minute basis. This is a very fluid situation. Information is coming in and we're reporting it as we find it. But of course, we want to make sure that it is credible and coming from sources.
Yeah, it should be pointed out that even though we have a suspect in custody, the shelter in place remains. When the threat is deemed to have been dealt with by local law enforcement in tandem with, I'm sure, state and federal law enforcement, as we see here on this shot. Actually, I want to bring this up really quickly there because we see there was a police cruiser that was heading towards us, and it looks like escorting a bus there, and that's just one of the few moments in the last 20 or so minutes that we've seen any significant activity on the Macomb Street and Tennessee Street shot. But until we hear anything from the contrary or, as to whether or not this is, look, bottom line is, folks, this is still an active shooter situation until the all clear is shared on the FSU alert system with federal, state, and
Alrighty, once again, we are getting reports from the Associated Press that a shooter has been AP. Let me pull this up. The Associated Press is reporting that a suspect is in custody. One can hope that that is true. This is live reports from FSU right now, from Florida State University shooting. Live updates. A suspect is in custody. A suspect has been taken into custody. Multiple victims were reported of shooting. A person familiar with the matter told the Associated Press the extent of the injuries are not immediately known, and there are no additional details about the person who is in custody. The person was not authorized to publicly discuss the details of the ongoing investigation and spoke with the AP on anonymity. So, everybody just take a breath on that one. Obviously, we hope that is accurate and that it is still not an ongoing situation. Yes, what do we have here? We've got more reports. We're going to go back to WCTV. They have a reporter on the ground right now. Let me pull this up for you guys. Boom. Hold on. Yes, they have a reporter on the ground right now. Governor DeSantis is let's see, boom. Alrighty, here is WCTV.
FSU family and state law enforcement is actively responding. Now, we do have our Stacey Inez on campus. She is next to the student union right now where this happened this afternoon, and I do believe there she is right now. Stacey, what have you seen and heard there?
Ava, this has been quite an emotional scene. So as you mentioned, I'm right outside of the student union. There have been hundreds of other students standing by, a lot of people extremely concerned. But on the law enforcement side, we've seen several different agencies all carrying large assault rifles. And I want you to take a look at the scene so you can get an idea of what's happening behind me. So if you look over there, that is where we've seen a lot of law enforcement staging. You can see from my vantage point, there's even evidence markers on the ground. I've been able to see shell casings on the ground right here. Several people I've spoken to said that they saw this happen right out here on the lawn. And if you look over there, right where that motorcycle is, you can see an article of what appears to be clothing on the ground. There's also one shoe over in the lawn as well. And so we've just been watching. I've seen several students come out in groups of maybe 6 or 7 or so, and they've been coming out periodically with their hands up, escorted by law enforcement. We've seen different agencies coming in and out of the building in groups of 10 or 12, all carrying those large assault rifle style weapons. And at this point, we still don't have any official word from our perspective in terms of what's happening inside the building, but I can tell you that what we have been seeing in terms of the response going in and out, we've heard sirens continuously, and students are just in disbelief from what I have been seeing up to this point, in disbelief that all of this has unfolded today. I think shock is probably the best way to describe what I'm hearing from people. And at this point, this scene still remains very active. People, even as much as 10 minutes ago, coming out with their hands in the air. So, of course, we'll stay here. We'll continue monitoring things, but really just very high emotion and a lot to grapple for a lot of students and even faculty that I've been standing with as well. Just cannot believe what they've seen here today. Ava, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Stacey. That's Stacey Inez. She is there on campus. That showed the Moore Auditorium there. You can see the crime tape, and several law enforcement agencies, they're looking for evidence on the ground. You can see clothes, you can see shoes. I'm sure students rushing to sort of get away from whatever was happening, and they've been going in and out of the building. So this investigation continues there, and just trying to get to the bottom of what exactly happened there today on campus.
And Stacey described something that's reminiscent of the 2014 shooting on FSU's campus when she mentioned
guys, Will Johnson is coming up right now. He will have the coverage of the shooting. You can see it side by side on the screen at the moment. If you're watching on LFA TV, which you should be watching on LFA TV, I'm going to keep the stream up on my X account for a little bit. Guys, Will Johnson on LFA TV. Keep it locked in here right now. Guys, I'll catch you back. LFA, I'll catch you back live tomorrow. Everybody else, we're going to keep up the remainder of the coverage. Will Johnson coming up right now. Guys, I'll see you around. The coverage will jump right now. Guys, I'll see you around.
To get any updates that she might have in regard. Many worried families out there right now. We've got Allison Posey. She is at TMH. She is getting the latest information on the victims of this shooting. So far, she has said there are 6 victims. 5 are serious and 1 is in critical condition. She is at the Southern Medical Group at TMH. So we will definitely check in with her shortly to get any updates that she might have in regards to that. And we know that TMH is working, diligently, their team and with first responders, they said, to make sure that they're taking the absolute very best care of these victims.
And several state lawmakers. We have several statements coming out from different lawmakers. We're going to put the one up from Rick Scott right there. This is Senator Rick Scott. He says, praying for the safety of everyone at FSU and a swift recovery for those injured. My team has been in touch with local law enforcement and continues to monitor the situation. Students should continue to follow directions from school officials. Again, that's Senator Rick Scott releasing that statement.
All right, Ashley Mooney also releasing a statement. My office has already been in contact with school leadership about the tragic reporting on FSU's campus. I am praying for the safety of the students, faculty, and all first responders involved.
And several of these statements coming out, a lot of people expressing their concern, their thoughts and their prayers, and hopefully, many people are being safe right now. It is interesting, though, one of the students that we heard from live on air not too long ago, he mentioned he hopes he doesn't have to go to a memorial. I thought that was really deep when he said that. At the time, right now, the information we have on the victims, it's 6 victims and they are still alive from the last update we got, 5 serious, 1 critical, and they're all at TMH at this time. But I thought that was, very powerful to hear him say he doesn't want to have to go to another memorial.
It definitely is. Representative Gallup Franklin released a statement as we actively monitor the situation unfolding at Florida State University regarding the mass shooting at the school. Our deepest concerns are with the victims of this senseless act and their families. I'm sincerely grateful for the quick reaction of first responders in this situation. This is a time of great concern, worry, and anguish for the FSU community and all of Tallahassee and Leon County. I stand with our students, educators, families, and neighbors during this time of uncertainty and grief. Schools, colleges, and universities must be places of learning and safety, not fear. Once we have the full details of this heinous attack, we will act with purpose and urgency to prevent tragedies like this from happening again. Now, this is new video just came in of people running across the street. This is about 12 noon today, running across West Tennessee Street. Obviously, heard the shots or coming from the, I'm not sure exactly what, coming from the student union, I'm not sure, but this is video of them as this scene was unfolding this afternoon,
right, and
trying
again,
to get away from campus.
Yeah, and thanks to Garrett Harvey for this video, and they apparently are somewhere up high, but you can see those students running across the street. A very, different scene from what we've been seeing within the past hour. Things have calmed down. And now we're going to go to Cody Butler, who is talking to someone live right now.
Yeah, I was in class, and it was about 1 o'clock, and the shots rang out, and we were like, is that construction going on, or what was happening? And so we got up, looked out the window, and I remember looking outside and hearing 5 more shots go off. And I was like, what's going on? So I saw kids running away from the student union, and I walked away from the window. Then I walked back to the window and heard 6, 7 more shots ring out. And at that point, we were like, okay, there's a shooting going on. So we ran from our classroom, went to the offices, locked the doors, barricaded ourselves in there, and then we waited. And was looking out the window again and saw the SWAT teams pull up, the police cars, the FBI come. And at that point, we were like, okay, we got to bunker ourselves in. And we were praying. We're like, okay, something's got to change here. And the SWAT team came into the room. They're like, stay where you are, don't move. And we were in there for about 30 minutes. And at that point, we were escorted out. About 100 SWATs were inside the building, and our hands were up. And so then we were escorted outside past the union and then into a safe space.
What was going through your mind when all this was unfolding?
Yeah, I was completely in shock. I didn't think this could happen at Florida State. I mean, we're a pretty safe campus, but yeah, this is just like unheard of to me. I never had been in a school shooting before, an active shooter. This is like first time for me, and I was honestly in shock. My hands were shaking, just adrenaline kicked in, and I really didn't know what to do. I started tearing up, just like I was scared, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you just saw, you just heard the shots. You didn't see anything.
Yeah, I didn't see the shooter, but I saw the kids running away. I heard some screaming. Yeah, and the shots, like 3 rounds of like 5 shots, and then 7 shots. So it must have been some back and forth going on. Yeah.
Yeah. And how are you doing now?
Good. I've recovered a lot. A lot of people have been texting me. People from out of state, University of Michigan friends have been texting me. People from South Florida have been texting me. People from high school have been texting me. Doing a lot better. It's been a great community that has surrounded me since then. I definitely didn't think I'd be traumatized as much as I have. Definitely not being on the scene, but being kind of away from it. But yeah, it's been scary. So I'm doing a lot better now. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Is there anything that you wish would have happened differently?
Yeah. No, I think the police responded very quickly. I think they did a great job. Yeah, I don't really know what could have happened. Maybe there's more police presence at certain areas for there not to be a shooter. I mean, I think that's just like the most obvious thing, but yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add? Anything maybe missed?
No. That's great.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. What was your name?
Yeah. I'm Cody.
Cody?
Yeah.
All right, so that was our Cody Butler out there on the scene on campus. Cody is on the intersection of Dewey and Tennessee Streets. And so as you heard, that was a student who talked about hearing those gunshots and being afraid at the moment.
Shocked and traumatized. He said, I didn't think that this could happen at Florida State.
Well, just moments ago, our reporters on scene talking to a father of a Florida State student who has been talking to his daughter, who is a freshman.
And since they first heard about the scene, now Michael Price, also a local pastor. Now here's what he had to say about hearing the news earlier today.
My daughter is a student at Florida State University as of January 6th of this year, true freshman.
Wow. So, what's going through your mind right now?
We got a call from my daughter before it hit the news. We've been on the phone with her for over an hour ever since. As a father, my wife's in the car and a mother, we are concerned for our daughter, but at least we're talking to our daughter and know that she is safe. Our hearts and prayers and minds are to anyone who's possibly had a child or a relative who's been injured or possible loss of life. And as a new pastor here in Tallahassee at the Bethel AME Church family on Orange Avenue, I am praying for our city and for the Florida State University community.
Very, very scary times for parents right now, trying to figure out if their children are all right. You know, this gentleman here, a pastor here in Tallahassee, was on the phone with his daughter.
Right.
She, alerted him that something was going on. I mean, a very traumatic and harrowing day for the students, for the parents, as we try to learn more about what exactly, happened this afternoon there.
Right, and that pastor, as scary as it was to be talking to his daughter about something like this, he said at least he was talking to her.
Right.
Very powerful words. He's just grateful that his daughter is alive and that he's able to talk to her. And of course, his prayers go out to those who have been affected. At this time, the latest update we've gotten is 6 victims in regards to this shooting on FSU's campus. Right now, we're told 5 are in serious condition, 1 in critical. So that's the latest update we've gotten from Tallahassee Memorial, who officials there care of the victims from this shooting, and they are prepared to deal with anything that may come their way.
Yes, they are in communication with first responders and really just, asking everyone for their patience, and they will give updates as soon as possible. And of course, our Allison Posey is there as well. We're going to check in with her shortly and see if she has any updates on the victims as well. We've got Jacob Murphy, who's on the scene at Woodward and Tallahassee, Cody Butler. They're just talking to people and getting their firsthand experiences and trying to get the most updated information possible for us right now on the scene, not only from people who are there, but also from first responders.
That's right, and we also have our Stacey Inez, who's there on the scene. She's staged near the area of the student union where this happened. And she was standing there, showed us video of Moore Auditorium, and talked about students being escorted out of the building, by the law enforcement officers. They're escorted with their hands up. Everyone came out calmly, safely, and she did mention that they came out about 6 or 7 at a time. So I'm sure that that's some type of organized way, law enforcement, some kind of system they have. But she witnessed the students coming out, and you could see the evidence markers on the ground in the union area, clothes, all types of things. So all of our crew members, at least 4 crew members out there right now, are still trying to gather new information.
And we do know that there is a student reunification center at the Tucker Civic Center. We saw buses taking those students in a very orderly fashion. They were getting on the buses. The buses were taking off there from the Woodward and Tennessee intersection, I believe it was. And I think they may be going to that reunification center to make sure they can check in with family.
Right, and this is live video right now of still showing the students out there. This is where they were lined up, had those buses there. And I guess they're probably waiting on more buses to come back so that they can bus them away from the area as well. But it's been interesting, hearing people talk about their experiences and what they saw and heard, and we'll hear some more right now.
Yeah, state lawmakers, Florida Attorney Generals, James Othmeyer, saying we are praying for the entire FSU community and our first responders.
And now we have Pam Bondi, our AG. She says the FBI is on the scene at Florida State, and we are in communication with agents on the ground. Our priority is the safety of everyone involved. We will keep updating as we learn more, praying for all. Again, that's from AG Pam Bondi.
And then we've got Representative Neil Dunn. My team and I are monitoring reports of an active shooter on FSU's campus. It is too early to understand the extent of the violence, but early reports are very disturbing. Follow all local guidance, shelter in place, stay safe. Thank you to our brave first responders for responding to the situation.
Yeah, so several different lawmakers, the governor has put out a statement, different representatives and very different lawmakers putting out this information, and all expressing concern and saying that their hearts and prayers go out to everyone affected during this time. Scary moments, since this all went down at around noon today. That first alert came out, and we've gotten word that there is a suspect in custody,
yes.
But again, no new information, no details on who that person is or why this happened.
We have a statement from President Trump. Thank you very much, everybody. I've been briefed on this Florida State University Tallahassee active shooter. Yes, it's an active shooter, fully briefed as to where we are right now. It's a shame, horrible thing, horrible thing. Things like this take place, and we will have more to say about it later.
So definitely everyone keeping an eye on this, from here locally, statewide, and of course nationally. A lot of people are just hoping that everything ends up being okay.
And people on campus still sheltering in place. The person I was in communication with earlier is still sheltering in place, waiting for police to give that safe word so that they can be escorted off of campus. But certainly first responders, we heard from the students, they were, doing a great job and making people feel really, really safe. Everything has been done in such a way, a very organized way, so to make sure everybody gets off campus safely.
Yeah, and that's great to hear. We still haven't gotten word on an all clear yet. So even though there is reportedly a suspect in custody, they still want people to follow directions, stay away, shelter in place, or follow any directions they may give you. But again, we have not gotten an official all clear just yet. So we are keeping our eyes and ears open. We have 4 crews so far out there on the scene, and we will definitely keep following this to give you the latest updates as they come in.
And the latest from TMH, where Allison Posey is, 6 victims, 5 serious and 1 in critical condition. And she is certainly monitoring what is going on there and trying to get the latest updates for us from TMH.
And Jacob Murphy and Cody, they've been talking to people out there on the scene for a while now, and we're about to check in with Cody right now, who's at Dewey and Tennessee Street. Cody.
Yeah, we are seeing a lot of students and families come to this intersection just trying to figure out what is going on. We've been they're trying to hang on and try to figure out what's going on, Robbie, right now. They are some people are walking back towards campus. They're being escorted. It looks like that they're university employees here right now. We've been here at this intersection for about 2 hours now. We've seen busloads of students going to the Civic Center for the unification process. That's happening again at the Civic Center. We're also starting to hear from state leaders. Governor Ron DeSantis posted on X earlier today that our prayers are with the FSU family and state law enforcement actively responding. We have FHP, we have Highway Patrol, FDLE, and FWC are here, as long with the Tallahassee and FSU police as well. Speaker Daniel Perez, who is a graduate of FSU, is also offering prayers with students. He says that this is a parent's worst nightmare. Prayers are for students, families, first responders, and all involved. And State Representative Gallup Franklin, he represents Tallahassee in the Florida House. He says in a statement that he stands with students, educators, families, and neighbors during this time of uncertainty and grief, and that schools and universities must be places of safe learning and not fear. And once have the full details of this heinous act, we must act with purpose and urgency to prevent tragedies like this from happening again. I've talked with parents as well here, and they've also brought up the gun issue as well, and it's something that we've seen kind of play out this legislative session. But again, we are still working on trying to figure out what exactly happened. And I'm sure lawmakers are paying attention at the Capitol an hour away as they are in the second half of the legislative session. So we'll see if this shooting sparks any new legislation out of that. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Cody. As you can see, still so much going on that, he's still trying to figure it out himself.
Yeah.
But we are constantly monitoring the situation so that we can get the latest updates.
We certainly are, and I know that we have Zach Dahlheimer here in studio with us right now. Zach, what do you have for us?
Yeah, hey, Ava, Lenitra, as this is a very fluid situation, we want to put in a perspective as to where this is all happening. A lot of law enforcement have been all afternoon so far. So to put in perspective where this is at on campus, when we're talking about the student union, the Oglesby Union is right in this vicinity of FSU's campus. So this is Tennessee Street, North Woodward Avenue. This is pretty much on the north end of campus. This is one of the busier ends of campus, very populated area. The Union has a lot of food restaurants, coffee shops. This is a place where students come to study. Of course, this is towards the end of the spring semester, so a lot of students getting ready to wrap up the semester, maybe getting ready for exams. But if you could see here, also I've been talking to a lot of sources on campus, professors. they've been saying some students, of course, were in class at the time when the alert went out around 12 noon. You have some other classroom buildings. Primarily, these classroom buildings have a lot of first-year, second-year students maybe with classes, those general education classes, one of which the HCB classroom building, the Strozier Library, which of course many here within the Tallahassee community very familiar with what happened 11 years ago on campus in 2014 with that incident taking place there. But you see a very heavy populated area of campus with the active shooter situation happening earlier today. But of course, a lot of activity happening. One source told me, a professor said that students were telling them that they actually saw law enforcement and people running all around this general facility of the Union, right around HCB, the Bellamy building, of course, right around here. This has a lot of public policy, social science, political science classes as well. As you can see right here, some video we're getting in. You can see these are people running across West Tennessee Street, which is in the area of right around where the Oglesby Union is. And I know that I was a freshman at Florida State many years ago. This is an area, of course, right in this here. You have the library, some classroom buildings, a very heavily populated building and area on campus when this situation unfolded earlier this afternoon, Ava and Lenitra.
Wow, thank you so much, Zach, for breaking all of that down for us. Some scary moments. I actually just got word from a friend who knows someone up there and talked about the describing running and hearing the shots and even being nearby one of the people who got shot. So very scary moments for so many people in our community.
All right, we are going to check in with Jacob Murphy, who is at Woodward and Tennessee right now.
Yeah, Ava, we've been here for about 2 hours now at this intersection of Tennessee Street and Woodward Avenue. A lot's been going on in the last 30, 40 minutes. Primarily, the evacuation, it appears, of students. They've been walking up the hill from Woodward towards Tennessee, and then I'd say maybe half dozen or so FSU buses, including, I believe, some Star Metro buses arrived to take these students away from campus. We're not entirely sure where those students were coming from and what differentiates them from the other students we've seen just leave campus on foot. But that has been happening, I'd say, the last 20, 30 minutes we've seen maybe 100, 200 students evacuated. I've been here at the Co-Cathedral, St. Thomas More, for most of the afternoon. It quickly became a safe haven for people rushing out of the Student Union, of course, just across the street from me, rushing just for safety, and they ended up here at the sanctuary. I'd say about 2 or 3 dozen people have been inside the church's sanctuary all day, just trying to take a deep breath. Some of the workers here at the church, some nuns and the pastor there, priests, have been speaking with some of these people. You may have seen live on our air earlier this afternoon about a family that was from Tampa taking a college visit. They were inside the Student Union when the shots rang out. They said they were all getting different meals at different parts of the union. They were able to find each other in the chaos and get into a service elevator